Second canto, 7th chapter, 17th verse. I'll just read this verse by myself. Please hear this. Jayan gunair avarajopyadite sutanam lokan vichakrama iman yad athadhi yajnaha kshmam vamanena jagrihe tripada chalena yachnam rite pathicharan prabhubhir nachalyaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Lord, although transcendental to all the material modes, still surpassed all the qualities of the sons of Aditi, known as the Adityas. The Lord appeared as the youngest son of Aditi, and because He surpassed all the planets of the universe, He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On the pretense of asking for a measurement of 3 footsteps of land, He took away all the lands of Bali Maharaj. He asked simply because, without begging, no authority can take one's rightful possession. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, he gives a brief description of the pastime of Vaman. The history of Bali Maharaj and his charity to Vaman is described in the 8th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. That is where it is described in detail. Here, Prabhupada summarizes. Bali Maharaj conquered all the planets of the universe by rightful possession. Here all the planets mean the planets of the heavenly planets and below. Not the planets above the heaven. Not Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. They are outside the jurisdiction of the demigods' control or the rulers who are ruling from the heavenly planets. It's outside their purview. They are directly under Brahma. They are the place of inhabitation by great saintly persons who have no interest in this material world or material enjoyment. So, Naishtika Brahmacharis and strict sannyasis and great tapasvis, great jnana yogis, all of them, they are promoted to these planets. Sometimes the classification is given as upper planetary systems, middle planetary system and lower planetary system. So upper planetary system sometimes is classified as Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. These 4 lokas where only the transcendentalists live in this universe. Only transcendentalists. They have no interest in anything material. They simply are engaged seriously in only business of self-realization. They have no other business. So, they are directly under the jurisdiction of Brahma. They have no other controllers. And when the demons or demigods are ruling this universe, they are only ruling from heavenly planets and below. So, if these 4 planetary systems are called the upper planetary system, then middle planetary system is Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka. Bhuloka is this earth planet, one of the planets of the Bhuloka, Bhumandala, Bhuloka. Planetary system is this earth planet itself. One of the planets of the middle planet, the Bhuvarloka is Pitruloka, where the ancestors are promoted. Pitris. And above that is Swargaloka, Swarloka, where the demigods, who are the controllers of different aspects of this universal administration, they stay. So they are headed by Indra. Indra is the among the Devatas, Indra is the king of the heavenly planets. So, this Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, 3 planetary systems is called middle planetary system. In our Gayatri mantra we chant Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. That's it. Then we say Tat Saviturvarenyam. Among these demigods and the lower planetary systems, all the inhabitants, the sun god is worshipped. Because above the heavenly planets, neither sun god nor moon god nor the Navagrahas, they have no influence. And also, when there is partial destruction of the universe at the end of Brahma's day, from Swargaloka up to Patala, everything is flooded by the water of devastation. The upper four planetary systems remain as they are. And the inhabitants there don't die. At the end of Brahma's day, they don't die. Their lifespan is how much? Same as Brahma's lifespan. Brahma's lifespan, the lifespan of the duration of the whole universe, that's their lifespan. So Brahma's night comes, Brahma and the inhabitants of that Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka all go to sleep. For them it is night. They go to sleep. But Swargaloka and downward, the planetary systems are submerged in water. They are not destroyed. They are submerged in water. It's called the Pralaya Payodhi Jale Drutavanasi Vedam. That's the first verse of the Dashavatara Stotra. That partial devastation happens. The middle and lower planetary systems are submerged in the water. So at the end of Brahma's night, when the Brahma's day begins, all those inhabitants of the upper 4 planetary system, they wake up. Brahma's day begins. But the middle and the lower planetary systems, the devastation, water, it recedes. And then the planets again surface. Planet, nothing has happened. But the living entities, they are in a state of a kind of sleeping condition in the body of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. They are all in the body of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. So again the creation has to begin of these living entities. They have to get bodies. The middle and lower planetary systems, living entities, they have to get new bodies. So that creation is again the work of Brahma and the Prajapatis. They give the bodies for all these living entities. Whereas the inhabitants of the Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, they have no destruction of body. End of Brahma's day, no destruction. So they remain in that same body only. They just wake up and they begin their activities. What is their activity? Mainly their activities are activities of self-realization. They're all great saintly persons. They're great transcendentalists. So, when it is said here that Bali Maharaj conquered all the planets of the universe, it refers to only Swargaloka onwards till Patala. It doesn't refer to Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, no. A king can conquer other kings by strength, and such possession is considered to be rightful. So Bali Maharaj possessed all the lands of the universe, and he happened to be charitably disposed toward the Brahmanas. The Lord therefore pretended to be a beggar Brahmana. That's described in detail in the 8th canto, that when the demons headed by Bali defeated Indra, Indra's mother Aditi, she prayed to Lord Vishnu, my son has lost his kingdom, kindly restore his kingdom. So the Lord was pleased with Aditi's worship, and he appeared to her and gave her the assurance that I will personally appear as your son and I will get back Indra his kingdom. Don't worry. So Aditi was very pleased and she was waiting when the Lord is going to appear. So the Lord appeared on Bhadra Masa, Bhadrapada Masa, Shukla Paksha, Dwadashi. He appeared on that day at a very auspicious time called the Muhurta is called Vijaya. It is a Shravana Nakshatra. Lord appeared in Shravana Nakshatra. Sometimes it's also called Shravana Dwadashi. Shravana Nakshatra. So at an auspicious time, the Lord appeared as the son of Aditi and Kashyapa Muni, Kashyapa Rishi. So he appeared as the younger brother of Indra. Therefore he is called Upendra. So many names are there. He appeared as a small dwarf Brahmana boy. Therefore he is called Vamana. Vamana means one who is very, very short and dwarf Brahmana. So the Lord appeared as a beggar Brahmana, means Brahmanas who are busy with their Brahmanical duties, they have no time for earning money or growing grains and vegetables. No, they just go and ask for some bhiksha. So this Vamana appeared like a bhikshu, a beggar Brahmana. That's what Prabhupada is telling. The Lord pretended to be a beggar Brahmana and he asked Bali Maharaj for a measurement of 3 footsteps of land. The Lord, as the proprietor of everything, could take from Bali Maharaj all the land he possessed. He could have taken because he is the original proprietor. But he did not do so because Bali Maharaj possessed all those lands by king's right. The Brahmanas, even though they can take whatever they want, especially if they are devotees of Krishna, nobody can stop them. But still, they'll go and ask bhiksha from the king or the one who possesses the land. So, when Bali Maharaj was asked by Lord Vamana for such small charity, Bali Maharaj's spiritual master, namely Shukracharya, objected to this proposal. And Vamana went as a small brahmachari and he asked for dana, bhiksha, give me 3 footsteps of land. So then the spiritual master of Bali Maharaj, Shukracharya, he objected and he said that Vaman Dev is Vishnu himself. Vamana is Vishnu himself. He is pretending to be a beggar. He is not a beggar. Bali Maharaj did not agree to abide by the order of a spiritual master. So Shukracharya told Bali, don't give him this land, 3 footsteps of land. Because if you give him, he will take away everything that you have. So he said, don't give this charity. But Bali Maharaj was actually a devotee of Vishnu. So he was all the more pleased to give that bhiksha to Vishnu. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Yat karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhoshi, dadasi yat. Whatever you eat, whatever you work you do, whatever charity you give, Krishna says, Tat Kurushva Madarpanam, give it to Krishna. Whatever charity you want to give to Krishna. So, if Krishna is the possessor of everything, why should he ask, give me charity, as if he is in need of charity? No, he is not in need of charity. He is telling, give me, that Prabhupada explains here. Bali Maharaj did not agree to abide by the order of spiritual master when he understood the beggar was Vishnu himself. he at once agreed to give him in charity the land requested. Bali Maharaj did not listen to Shukracharya. By this agreement, when Bali Maharaj agreed to give 3 footsteps of land to Vamana, so Vamana, what he did? Lord Vamana covered all the lands of the universe which are in possession by Bali Maharaj. He covered all the lands with his first 2 steps. First 2 steps. And then asked Bali Maharaj where to place the 3rd step. 2 steps he finished off, covering all the lands. 3rd step, where shall I place? Bali Maharaj was very glad to receive the Lord's remaining step upon his head. What is the consideration? Bali Maharaj said that 2 steps you have taken away all my possessions. Now I myself I surrender to you. There are 2 conceptions in material world. Aham, mama. Aham means I, and that conception of I is I am the body, and all the other bodily possessions are mine. This is called false ego. So to give up this false ego, nirmamo nirhankaraha, nirhankara, we become nirhankara. If you want liberation from this material bondage, we become nirhankara. To become free from false ego means to surrender oneself and one's possessions, or one's possessions and oneself. To surrender oneself. Atma nivedana. Not only all these possessions that I possess belong to you, Krishna, even I am yours. I belong to you. I am your property. Krishna says in the 4th chapter, all the living entities belong to me, they are mine. Yena bhutani asheshani drakshasi atmani atomai. So like that, the understanding of the devotees is not only everything that I possess belongs to Krishna, even I belong to Krishna. Therefore, Bali Maharaj, 3rd step he said, you place on my head. The 3rd step. Instead of losing everything, when he gave away whatever he possessed and he himself surrendered to Vamandev, instead of losing everything, he was blessed by the Lord's becoming his constant companion and doorman. So after this, what did Vamandev do? Vamandev was very pleased with Bali Maharaj. He said that I give you Sutala Loka, because he lost whatever he possessed, but I am giving you Sutala Loka. And Sutala Loka will have more opulence than the heavenly planet of Indra. He took away the heavenly planets to give to Indra. But he gave Bali Maharaj Sutala Loka with more opulence than even Swarga. And not only that, the Lord became his doorkeeper, that nobody can touch you, nobody can disturb you. Personally, the Lord became his servant. That's why when we surrender to Krishna, not that we are losers, that's what Prabhupada explains. So by giving everything to the cause of the Lord, one does not lose anything, but he gains everything that he could never otherwise expect. What happens to Krishna when somebody surrenders to Krishna? Krishna says, I am yours. I am your servant. How can I serve you? This is Krishna. So this is the lesson to be learned from this pastime of Vamandev. Today is also Srila Jiva Goswami's appearance day. A little I'll read about Jiva Goswami. A lot of reading material, but something I'll read. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described, Prabhupada discussed in the purport, that there were different branches of Chaitanya tree. That means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself began preaching by preaching first of all the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, the Sankirtana. And later on he traveled everywhere and got the support of all classes of people for his movement. But then to continue the preaching, his followers, his disciples, his intimate associates, they also became very, very wonderful preachers to spread Krishna consciousness everywhere. So, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the 8th chapter of the Adi Lila, the different branches of the Chaitanya tree. So, who were the prominent preachers, who were the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So, among them, it's described here, Rupa and Sanatana were the principal branches of the Chaitanya tree. Anupama, Jiva Goswami and others headed by Rajendra were their sub-branches. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami are the leaders of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan and their descendants. But among Rupa and Sanatana Goswami's descendants or disciples, the principal disciple was Jiva Goswami, principal disciple. So it is said in the purport by Srila Prabhupada that Srila Jiva Goswami is formerly Vilasa Manjari Gopi. In Krishna's pastimes, Chaitanya and his associates are actually same as, non-different from Krishna and his associates. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is Krishna in Krishna's pastime. So, the gopis, the young gopis are called Manjaris. So, formerly Jiva Goswami was in Krishna Leela Vilasa Manjari Gopi. From his very childhood, Jiva Goswami was greatly fond of Srimad Bhagavatam. He later, what is the relationship between Jiva Goswami and Rupa and Sanatana? Rupa and Sanatana had another brother by name Anupama. So Anupama's son was Jiva Goswami. So Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami are uncles of Jiva Goswami, their father's brother. So Jiva Goswami was very young when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Anupama, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. 3 of them, 3 brothers when he met. Jiva Goswami was a very small boy. So at that time itself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed this small boy. And therefore, by the blessing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at a very young age, he was very fond of Bhagavatam. He later came to Navadvip to study Sanskrit, and following in the footsteps of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, he circumambulated the entire Navadvip Dhama. After visiting Navadvip Dhama, he went to Banaras to study Sanskrit advanced Sanskrit, under Madhusudan Vachaspati. And after finishing all his studies in Banaras, he went to Vrindavan and took shelter of his uncles, Sri Rupa and Sanatana. This is described in the Bhakti Ratnakara, another book written by one of the Acharyas. As far as our information goes, Srila Prabhupada is telling in the purport, Srila Jiva Goswami composed and edited at least 25 books. Jiva Goswami is extensively written on the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Among all the Goswamis, he has written the maximum. Just like it is said, Srila Vyasadeva, he compiled 18 Mahapuranas, total of 400,000 verses, or 4 lakh verses in the 18 Mahapuranas, 4 lakh verses. Jiva Goswami has written about 25 different books. The total number of verses in these 25 books comes to 400,000, 4 lakh verses. This is Jiva Goswami's work. How much extensively he has written. So just the list I'll read out quickly. Harinamamrita Vyakarana, This Harinamrita Vyakarana is a special book that it describes or it enumerates the rules of grammar, Sanskrit grammar, which is very difficult. So unless explained by somebody in a simple, easily understandable way, it's not easy to learn Sanskrit grammar. But he has explained it very nicely. The speciality is, by studying this particular grammar book, one not only becomes expert in Sanskrit grammar, one also becomes a devotee. Because all the rules are in terms of describing Krishna's different names. Just like in our traditional Vedic calendar, Panchanga, the bright fortnight of the lunar month is called Shukla Paksha. And the dark fortnight is called Krishna Paksha. Bright and dark. Shukla is bright, Krishna is dark. But Jiva Goswami in the Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava Panchanga, he calls the bright fortnight as Gaura Paksha. Gauranga's name. And the dark fortnight he calls it Krishna Paksha only, but here Krishna is reference to the Supreme Lord Krishna, not to the dark complexion, not to dark color, dark. So like that, he has given names of Krishna for every single thing in the Sanskrit grammar. That's called Harinamamrita Vyakarana. Sutra Malika, Dhatu Sangraha, Krishnarcha Deepika, Gopala Virudavali, Rasamrita Shesha, Shri Madhava Mahotsava, Shri Sankalpa Kalpa Vriksha, Bhavartha Suchaka Champu, Gopala Tapani Tika. Gopala Tapani is an Upanishad exclusively describing Krishna. Gopala Tapani. So he has written a commentary on that Gopala Tapani Upanishad. A commentary on the Brahma Samhita. Jiva Goswami has written a commentary in Brahma Samhita. Based on that commentary, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given us a commentary in English, because Jiva Goswami is written in Sanskrit. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has explained in English the same commentary by Jiva Goswami. Then a commentary on the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami's work, he has written a commentary. A commentary on the Ujjvala Nilamani, again Rupa Goswami's work, Ujjvala Nilamani, Srila Jiva Goswami has given a commentary. A commentary on the Yoga Sarastava, a commentary on the Gayatri Mantra, as described in the Agni Purana. A description of the Lord's lotus feet derived from the Padma Purana. A description of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, again from the scriptures only. Gopala Champu in 2 parts. And then the 7 Sandarbhas. The Krama Sandarbha, Tattva Sandarbha, Bhagavat Sandarbha, Paramatma Sandarbha, Krishna Sandarbha, Bhakti Sandarbha and Priti Sandarbha. So then Prabhupada describes what is there in each Sandarbha. Sandarbha is the main work. Among these 25 books, Sandarbhas are the main work. They are very famous. They actually give us the essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. There's the essence of the Bhagavatam. Very beautifully, authoritatively established. So the details are here. Little more I'll read, and Prabhupada's connection with Jiva Goswami. It's interesting. It is from a book compiled by our Srila Prabhupada, A Friend to All, by one Mataji, disciple of Prabhupada. What is her name? Mula Prakriti Devidasi. She has compiled this. So she interviewed different people who were contemporaries of Prabhupada before Prabhupada went to America. So one of them is Gopal Chandra Ghosh. So Gopal Chandra Ghosh is describing, during these months when I would visit him in his rooms at Radha Damodar. Before Prabhupada went to America, he was staying in Radha Damodar temple. So Gopal Chandra Ghosh used to visit Prabhupada. Then he says, Prabhupada occasionally told me some special things that I understood as secrets in his bhajana. Means Prabhupada was practicing Krishna consciousness in Radha Damodar temple, one of those rooms. So the secrets of Prabhupada's practice is revealed to Gopal Chandra Ghosh a little bit. So he says, once I came early in the morning in winter time. He was chanting Harinama very deeply, and I saw tears coming from his eyes. When I inquired several times for him to tell me anything, he said he had received a visit last night. Somebody came to him, meet Prabhupada in his room. In the courtyard by Srila Rupa Goswami's Samadhi, he saw some very beautiful persons. One was wearing only kaupin and was chanting on large tulsi mala around his neck. His eyes were large like lotus flowers, and he was extremely effulgent. There was also another personality, similarly dressed but older and taller. Behind them was a much younger sadhu, whose beauty and sweetness were captivating. Swami Maharaj, that is, Prabhupada was referred to as Swami Maharaj those days. Swami Maharaj told me they were Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, and their nephew Srila Jiva Goswami. Prabhupada was able to witness Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and Jiva Goswami in the courtyard of Rupa Goswami's Samadhi in Radha Damodar temple. He said they spoke to him and gave him mercy and guidance for his writing and for his future preaching. I tried to ask him more, but this was all he would tell me. He didn't tell anything more. Prabhupada told this much, that's all. And Gopal Ghosh further says about one another incident. That is where Prabhupada got the idea for ISKCON, where? In Radha Damodar temple. It is where Prabhupada did his own personal bhajan, and there were many times he told me that Rupa and Jiva Goswamis appeared to him in dreams. Prabhupada would get vision of Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami in his dreams. He took power from that place. The power to preach and spread Krishna consciousness. Because one day he told me one poem in Bengali from Chaitanya Bhagavat. What is that poem telling? Until now, Lord Chaitanya is doing his Leela. He is also chanting and dancing. He is distributing this. It is Chinmaya Leela and Satya, the truth. Some rare person is getting this grace. But the general masses are entrapped in Vishaya. Sense gratification cannot follow. That rare person is our Prabhupada. So, Prabhupada actually met Rupa Goswami, Sanatana. In another place he says, all the 6 Goswamis to gather together and actually discuss how Krishna consciousness can be spread all over the world. And Prabhupada used to be witnessing this in the courtyard of Rupa Goswami's Samadhi. One more last thing I will read and we'll close. Yashodanandan Prabhu is recollecting. Once Prabhupada told Gurudas that when he was staying at Radha Damodar temple, he had a chance to look at some of the original manuscripts of Jiva Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Prabhupada said to Gurudas, if you knew the contents of these books, you would faint. So wonderful these contents are. This was another manifestation of Prabhupada's mercy. He revealed a glimpse of the transcendental potency of the Goswamis' literatures. So what Prabhupada has given us as purports in so many different books is actually the teachings of the Goswamis. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though he extensively preached, he restricted his preaching to only making people chant Hare Krishna. But he instructed the Goswamis and asked them to write books on the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So, Chaitanya's teachings are available to us in the form of the writings of the 6 Goswamis. So Prabhupada's purports are mainly from the 6 Goswamis' books. So if you simply study Srila Prabhupada's books, everything that the Goswamis have given us, we can get that. Nothing else need be studied. Prabhupada's purports are enough. So that's why it says, he revealed a glimpse of the transcendental potency of the Goswamis' literatures. I'll stop here. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Vaman Dev ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari.